Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And my man James Golden has a well-deserved day off. Dominic Carter filling in for James this hour, and we're going to have a lot of time to chat with each other on the phones. I'll deal with the political news in just a moment, but I see among the calls standing by, we have Liz in Florida. It says Liz happens to be on Long Island right now. Morty in New Jersey, Utah, Rockland County, New York. But let's get to a little bit of news, and then we'll start with the telephone calls in just a second. And I'm going to begin this way. $9 billion. $9 billion. It started at $1 billion. Minnesota's Somali community, social service scammers, according to the feds, have stolen $9 billion. Let's put that in perspective. That's almost the size of the entire country, the dollar amount of the country of Somalia. And you let these crooks come here, and they have stolen $9 billion. We're going to deal with that. Plus, Nicki Minaj appeared at the Turning Point Conference, Erica Kirk in Arizona, a few days ago. Something's going on in the rap music. Nicki Minaj praising President Trump. Now Amber Rose, another rapper who's always been pro-Trump, is coming out saying exactly the same thing. And it's funny because those on the left, they had nothing to say when some of the other rappers came out for Kamala. And we see how that worked out. But I want to start with this. Mom Donnie, we're going to your telephone calls. Every time I look at this guy, to be honest with you, I want to throw up. Every time, because he's so slick and he's so smooth. He's articulate. I'll give him that. Mommy and Daddy did a good job with the silver spoon in his mouth, educating him. And so in just days, he'll be the first socialist mayor of New York City, Muslim American. And so Mom Donnie finds himself, it's a repeated drum where he has to defend aides that have made anti-Semitic comments. And what are these aides doing around if they've made anti-Semitic comments? So he appointed someone last week as his appointments secretary, and she had to resign in less than 24 hours because her past tweets that is, came up. And what does Mom Donnie, that were very anti-Semitic, and what does Mom Donnie have to say about the aide that had to resign in less than 24 hours?
So I made clear that these comments were reprehensible. She expressed a deep sense of remorse. She offered to resign, and I accepted it.
Would you have asked her to resign?
She offered to resign, and I accepted it. I was not aware of these posts, and I would not have hired her.
And then I have
So excuse me, Mr. Mayor-elect, what does it say about your leadership style that you didn't know about her past tweets? Give me a break. Do you think we're stupid? Evidently you do, but we're not. You're going to find out the hard way. We're not as stupid as you think that we are, Mayor Mamdani. Brown University. The head of the campus police department is on paid administrative leave. He's done. He's out. That's what should happen, but it shouldn't stop there. The president should also be on her way out because the lady is clueless. And both of them are clear examples of DEI when it goes bad. And I don't mean to joke about this because 2 people lost their lives, 9 others injured. And it's time for the president to go as well as the head of security?
A lot. First of all, apparently a janitor named Derek, who worked as a janitor at Brown University, had previously, that is before the shooting, according to him, alerted the Brown University police that there was an intruder that had been lurking around the building, but yet nothing was done. We also learned that there were a number of electronic devices discovered in the storage unit that he had, and a number of other things, perhaps thumb drives that he had, all of which point to the idea that this was some elaborate plot. He did a lot of casing, a lot of pre-planning, a lot of recon, but in retrospect, none of it seems to make sense, and I just hope that the authorities come out soon with some sort of a backgrounder so that we can all try to understand this thing.
And so when you have a janitor that says, excuse me, there's this weird guy hanging around the building, you should take him seriously, because the janitor was IDing the shooter. And those two people that lost their lives would be alive today if it wasn't for DEI incompetence. Let's go to your telephone calls. Line 1, Liz in Florida. Liz, it says here you're in on Long Island. How's that?
Hi, Dominic. You are such a hard worker. Yeah, my daughter had a baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I am in Long Island in a place called Yaphank, and it's near the Hamptons. And it's, it's a little chilly for me, but I want you to know that when it comes to weather, if it looks like, bad outside, look inside and see beauty. I do, and I see my family, this newborn grandson who's amazing, and the weather is just a message to look inside and find the beauty.
Wow.
So
So wait a minute. So your grandchild, is it a boy or a girl?
Boy.
A
baby
boy. And what's his name? First name?
His name is Liam Noah.
Wow.
L-I-A-M. Yeah. So that means Lee. To me, to nation. I am like to the nation, to my nation. And Noah means comfort.
So now
I'm in here with my son-in-law's in the car with me.
Oh, say hello to your son-in-law. What's his first name?
Kevin. Kevin, say hi to Dominic.
Hi, Kevin. Is this your first child, Kevin?
It is, Dominic. It is.
Wow. So how does it feel?
A little surreal. I'm not gonna lie. It's an amazing time in all our lives, but it hasn't really kicked in yet that I'm a dad. So
wow, congratulations! Wow,
thank you.
He's numb.
Wow. Now we have to mention Mom's first name, or we'll all be in trouble. What's her first name?
Oh yes, Dina.
Wow.
Dina and Kevin, first-time parents, yes.
Wow. So, Kevin, have you learned anything yet as a dad?
Yes. Take the advice of my mother-in-law very seriously.
Good answer.
Congratulations. Wow. That is just wonderful news. New life, new beginning. Everybody's smiling around here. So Liz, what are you doing, for the holidays? I mean, Hanukkah and so on. You started out in Florida, correct, for the holidays?
I did, and then she had a boy, then the bris was on Sunday, so we celebrated Hanukkah here, and the best Hanukkah gift was this baby that was born, Liam Noah. And, so, life is incredible. You just have to find the most incredible thing in your life. And it's there. It's always there.
So, do you want to be known as Grandma? This was a topic that we did one night. Grandma, or what's the name that you want the baby to call you once he gets a little older?
Grandma. It's my 10th grandchild, so they all call me Grandma.
Wow. So you have 10 grandchildren.
10 grandchildren, 8 children, and yes.
And how does it feel?
It's always fabulous. It's always such a blessing. What can I say? It's incredible. Do you remember your first?
Of course. Of course. When my son was born, Liz, it was a little different, and I tell the story, and my wife doesn't like it. I was on Deadline in television in the middle of editing when she went into labor. And so her brother got her up to Columbia Presbyterian. And of course, he wanted to leave immediately. And so I'm in the middle of editing on Deadline for a story that's got to air. And the assignment editor comes into the room and the assignment editor says, your wife is in labor up at Columbia Presbyterian. And I'm like, uh-oh. And so they got the phone to me and to her, and I said, hon, just give me a few more minutes. And I can't say what she said, Liz, but essentially she said, if you don't get your black, you know what, up here in the next 20 minutes, it's going to be a big problem. And so I made it up to the hospital. I had to explain, guys, I got to go. And I made it. I knew how to time this out. I made it in time for the baby and all that good stuff. Hey, Liz, congratulations to you, to mom, to the baby, to dad. That is absolutely wonderful news, even though it's a bit cold for you, correct?
Yeah, but it's okay. Everything is warm inside. But the two words you don't want to tell a mother that's in labor, that's about to give birth, and you're not there yet, is don't push. So remember that. Right. No, I didn't say that. And then the first time with my daughter, they had her all drugged up and I had on a custom made shirt and one of those pains hit her and she literally ripped my shirt because the pain, but I better shut up, Liz, because I'm going to get in trouble. Thank you so much for the wonderful news. Regards to you, your son-in-law, your daughter, and your grandchild, Liz. From Florida, now in Long Island. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to regret this, but indulge me. I think this is the same Robert. Every time I take this call, he explains to me that you can be anti-Israel and not anti-Semitic. So the last time I spoke to you, Robert, I said I was done with you. You said you was done with me. So what's different this time around?
Oh, but Dominic?
Yes.
This is a different Robert.
Thank God it's a different Robert. Thank God.
There's more than one Robert. You should know that.
Thank you. Okay, so what's on your mind, Robert?
I'm a very sensible person. No, my point is, when Dami says, well, you could criticize Israel and not be anti-Semitic, but why does he only pick on Israel the way they treat the Arabs? He doesn't pick on Boko Haram. He doesn't talk about the way Iran treats their people. He only picks on Israel. So more Arabs have died in Arab hands than Israeli hands.
I agree with you. I think the mayor's antics are despicable, and something's got to give because Netanyahu has already said he's coming to New York very soon, and that's a challenge to Mamdani, who said he wants to arrest him. So we'll see what happens.
Well, supposedly Netanyahu says he's going to take him up on the offer.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens. Hey, Robert, thank you for the great call.
Happy holidays.
Same
Happy New
to
Year.
you and your family. A different Robert. Thank God. Oh, it is time for a break here. Dominic Carter filling in for James Golden. We are coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The James Golden Show.
Entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Second time around the block, delayed third quarter numbers. We're looking for 3.3. Zoom. 4.3%. 4.3%. That is a nice jump.
And those numbers from CNBC, things are looking up for the Trump administration. Despite what the media may tell you, folks, don't believe the hype. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. My absolute honor to be here with you folks. $9 billion. That's the amount the feds in Minnesota are alleging may have been swindled by members of the Somali community. This is Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
You know, you told me to look into Minnesota and their fraud on visas and their programs. 50% of them are fraudulent, which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's both, sir. He brought people in there illegally that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. Fraudulent visa applications, signed up for government programs, took hundreds of billions of dollars from the taxpayers, and we're going to remove them and we're going to get our money back.
Get rid of them. Something else I want you to hear before I go right back to the telephone calls. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. This is Congressman James Comer from Kentucky. Listen to this.
Because they don't want to offend that population. And the early numbers that I'm getting in on the Somalis in Minnesota is 75% of the Somalis in Minnesota are on full government assistance. That's full welfare. The whole reason that the Democrats left the border open during the Biden administration was to allow people to come in and what they said would provide jobs, because there's a shortage of workers. And I agree there's a shortage of workers, but you got a massive population in that one state, and the overwhelming majority of that population's on Medicaid, and then and other types of government programs. Even when Democrats say there are no illegals on Medicaid, I think that's going to be proven to be false.
Look in Minnesota. Right. Yeah.
Go back to Somalia and get government services there. Oh, they barely have any, if any at all. Well, that's your problem. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Morty, line 3, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Morty?
Hi, Dominic. Wanted to wish you and your family a happy holiday and Merry Christmas.
Same to you and your family, Morty. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you as well.
Thank you very much. We'll be doing the Jewish tradition of Chinese food in a movie theater. Anyway, I wanted to get into you had put on the podcast Sean Ryan. That's the name of the podcast.
Yes.
Sean Ryan, the former Navy SEAL.
Yes.
He also had Gavin Newsom on his podcast, and he gave him a handgun as a present. And Gavin Newsom was like, trying to act all I'm one of you guys. I'm a gun owner too. And anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. I didn't want to comment on anything, but I really just wanted to say thank you to you and everybody else at WABC that are speaking truth to facts, because I go on social media and I see a lot of people my age and younger that are starting to say, you know what, I'm conservative, but they're adopting these conspiratorial antics. Like, they're believing what Candace Owens says when she's going on a tirade for weeks and weeks and weeks. Finally, after being told by Erica and going on Piers Morgan, she has no facts, and now everyone's like, well, so what now? Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for sticking up for...
Thank you, Morty, and happy holidays to you and your family. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. I'm coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The James Golden Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And James Golden has the day off, a well-deserved day off. Dominic Carter here with you filling in. We still have a lot of time for your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. So something happened over the weekend that I thought was remarkable. And it involves the world of rap and mainstream America. And it's a good thing. Nicki Minaj went to the Turning Point Conference done by Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. And so the two took the stage together, and rapper Nicki Minaj had a lot of positive things to say about President Trump. And she also had a message to communities of color that you don't have to degrade others. You just don't have to do it. Here's a little bit of what Nicki Minaj had to say.
We're not being represented and not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel... No, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful. Why shouldn't she feel that? Why have we gotten to a point where certain colors or certain kinds of people have to be afraid of loving themselves and loving the way they look? Like, isn't that wild?
So that's Nicki Minaj, right? So you listen to this show, or at least the show that I do. I'm filling in for Bo right now. And every blue moon, you'll hear the Peters of Harlem call up, selling out your own people. So what are you going to say about Nicki Minaj now? Not just Nicki Minaj, who's a Trump supporter, Amber Rose, who's a Trump supporter, big rappers. So as you might imagine, Nicki Minaj is not exactly the favorite cup of tea, favorite flavor these days after she attended this conference. And it's interesting because when Cardi B, poor Cardi B, the teleprompter went down when she was endorsing Kamala. So Cardi B endorsed Kamala. No problem. Megan Thee Stallion was twerking at $1 million for a 30-minute set at a Kamala concert. Her first rally in Atlanta, Georgia. No problem when Megan Thee Stallion came out for Kamala. Now we have a situation where Nicki Minaj is talking up Trump and conservative values, and it's the end of the world. So I caught this woman on social media defending, as she should do, Nicki Minaj.
When Cardi did it, y'all was quiet. When Meg Thee Stallion had her ass up on that stage twerking for Kamala Harris, nobody had shit to say. But now that it's Nicki, everybody has a problem. For whatever reason, the Barbs are mad, the internet is on fire, and Nicki Minaj obviously just started a mega revolution, and I am here for it. Let me tell y'all, sis is not only the queen of rap, but she's definitely giving queen of politics, because the way she shut down that stage with Erica Kirk over the weekend, baby, she definitely did her thing. The fact that Nicki stood on that stage and stood for what she believed in spite of the backlash that she obviously knew that she was going to get from the Democrats, from the Barbs, as well as everybody else, speaks volumes to me. That woman stood on that stage as a mother, as a wife, as a entrepreneur, as a artist, and she did her damn thing. Do you hear me? If she was to ever cross over into politics, she definitely would have my vote, because she did a hell of a job in spite of what everybody got to say. She was not ghetto, she was not ratchet, and she damn sure wasn't giving hoodlum, okay? And I feel like that's why everybody really mad.
And so I'm going to say again to my Democrat friends, those in my community, those in the Latino community, get off that Democrat plantation. Don't you see it's the ultimate form of slavery? How do you explain the fact that Nicki Minaj is now down with Team Trump? Amber Rose is down with Team Trump. Dominic Carter, I'm not a rapper, is down with Team Trump. And the truth is, half of the rappers that you see out there are down with Team Trump. I was in his office when they were calling him, but they don't mention it publicly. Why? Because they like his showman style. Plus, if we're being real, his economic policies pertain to these rappers that are making big, big money. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. Let's go to Judith, line 1 in Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Judith?
Hi, I felt left out already, you know? There was like Liz and Sandra and Gracie and Debbie. I said, okay, I got to get on and talk to you as well, right?
Okay. Well, you're here now.
Yeah, thank you. You know something? I called before and then I hung up. You know why? Because I said, I'm not going to bore you with Joe Biden and Afghanistan and the fact he's the one that pushed in 215 for illegal invasion. But, you know, and by the way, Nicki Minaj, I listened to what she said now. So, number one, Dominic, true beauty starts from within.
Absolutely.
I want you to know that.
Absolutely.
It starts from within. You have a beautiful soul, a beautiful essence. It comes out on you. And I have to say, in 2025, you have beautiful women in every color and every race. And you don't, and I always say,
hey, Judith,
try to be.
Judith,
yes.
You telling me?
Well, no, and you know,
of course.
You know what I say? You know what I say? Try to be the best bee you can be for yourself. Don't try to be someone else or look like someone else. You have your looks. Just do the best with your looks. That's what's important. Stop looking to compete. There's no competition. And women in general are gorgeous. God created women gorgeous.
Well, I'm glad you said it. But Judith, I hear you, and we all should be ourselves. But I do want to be the star point guard for the New York Knicks or the quarterback. But Elias and Judith, what are you both laughing at? Or the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. I just wish I could have made it, you know?
They're waiting. They're waiting.
Hey, listen, Dominic, I want to tell you something.
Go ahead.
Do you know how many injuries these people have? Are you looking for stuff like that? Thank God that
Judith,
yeah.
If you've got $150 million contract with the New York Knicks, who cares about injuries? Your money is guaranteed.
Dominic, not everything is money and whatever. But, can I just say one thing? Because someone triggered me. This guy, Robert called up and I see red. And Robert's a good guy, nothing to do. But what he said triggered me, and I know he doesn't mean it that way. He said, more Arabs kill Arabs than Israelis kill Arabs. And I said, 1 minute. That's a lie, not from him. Israelis do not kill Arabs, people. They do not. That's, 2 million Arabs live in Israel alongside Israelis. They're very happy. You've got 12% or more in parliament. You've got judges, Arab Muslim judges. You've got all kinds of representation. And every war, look it up, every war was started by the Arabs. And Israel has a right to defend her civilians. What in the world? And Mandami, he's not happy with 22 Arab Muslim countries. No, he just doesn't want Israel to exist. Why? Because he's so hateful, and he's so either been lied to because he's 32 years old. I would love to sit down with him. Oh, would I fix his wagon? Oh, would I give him facts over fiction?
So wait a minute. Wait. Yeah. You would fix his wagon? That's a good slogan. I like that one. You would fix his wagon?
I would fix his wagon. I would send him in the right.
You know what I would say to him, Judith? You know what I would say to him? Now, remember, I've had private conversations with Koch, with Giuliani, with Dinkins, de Blasio. The first thing I would say to him is, as soon as the door closed, I would say, okay, Mr. Mayor, I can't say the exact term. I would say, cut the bull, cut the bull, cut the smile, cut the bull. And let's have a real chat here. Stop with the bull. Yeah. I'm coming close to saying it, so I better move on. Hey, but Judith, you have to indulge me for a second here because I'm thinking about this, right? So I'm back in grad school at Syracuse, right? And so Coach Boeheim, who's now retired, he's a color commentator. He was a coach at Syracuse for many, many years. A really, really good man. And the Syracuse Orangemen, the only national championship they won was with Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony did a one and done. He came up to Syracuse, won the national championship. Pearl Washington couldn't get it done. None of them could get it done except for Carmelo, and there was this other guy, I forgot his name. But, you gotta indulge me for a second, right? This is what I do, folks, right? So it's 5 seconds on the clock. Syracuse calls a timeout. Boeheim puts in Carter. Here comes Carter. Everybody knows the ball is going to Carmelo. 3 seconds, 5 seconds on the clock. What will Boeheim do at this point? Oh no, the ball is thrown into Carmelo. Carmelo is triple teamed. He's got to dish it out to Carter in the corner. The buzzer's about to go off. Carter puts up the 3-pointer. It's good. It's good. Syracuse wins the national championship. So, but I guess I could do that from the sideline, Judith.
I think on a day you could go to ESPN, and you could be an announcer. Can I ask you a stupid question? Is he a basketball player? I remember his name.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony used to be a star for the Denver Nuggets, the New York Knicks. And you're right about that because my son and I went to the College Football Museum in Atlanta. And we all think it's so easy to kick a field goal. Part of the exhibit, it's a very hands-on exhibit. Part of the exhibit is they have a field goal post and you're only about 15 yards back and you get to kick a field goal. I would say 9.5 out of 10 people, especially my son and I, we couldn't even get the ball up in the air to go through the goalposts. We watched the college games and we watched them kick these 50-yard field goals, and we think it's easy. No, Judith, it's not easy. It's not easy. So you never had a dream to be something that you're not?
Oh, wow. What a question. Oh, please don't get me started. Oh, man.
So what would you be?
I could be so teased. Oh, my God. Go ahead. I don't know. That's a loaded question.
No, it's a straight question.
No, because you kind of think, I could have been this and I could have been that.
Okay, so let's hear it. So let's hear it before I move on. Let's hear it.
But you know something? At the end of the day, I'm just happy with the way I've been and how I am. And
so you're not going to let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, what should I tell you? I've done some stuff in my life that I'm very proud of. And, what should I tell you? I don't know. That's a loaded question. So I have to think about it, Dominic.
Okay.
I really do. That's a great question. It really is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know.
Well,
that's a very good question.
I guess we'll wait for the midnight show. We'll wait for the midnight show for you to tell us the truth.
Dominic.
Yes.
Dominic,
yes.
I love that question.
Well, but I want to answer. If I could say I want to be a member of the Syracuse Orange Men and I get the ball with 2 seconds on the clock and I throw it up and I hit a 3-pointer.
Dominic.
There's the crowd.
Dominic.
Yes.
Are you there, Dominic? When I was 5 years old. I was going to be a circus performer. I was going to be on a horse at 5 years old, and I was going to have them train me as the horse is galloping around, traveling. I was going to be trained to go 360 in the air, come back on the horse, because I had seen a circus show with a little girl of that age, and I just said, that's who I want to be. And I made my mother crazy. Ma, I want a horse. I want a horse. I want a horse. I used to be I used to love gymnastics. I'd be more in my hands than my feet. I was always doing handstands.
Well, Judith,
I want to be a circus performer.
Well, Judith, thank you for the call. And now the Ringling Brothers in Barnum Bailey Circus with Judith, who's riding the horse over there at age 5, and now she's a grown woman. Watch her in the main circle. Your Ringling Brothers, they were good while it lasted. Judith, thank you for the call. Folks, we see all your other calls. Obviously, I'm being a little light in terms of the substance because it's a holiday week. Let's have some fun. Dominic Carter filling in for James Golden. We are coming right back. 800-848-9222.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. James Golden Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
Tick, 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 tick. Your time is up, Ilhan Omar. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. I'm thinking about food right now. Debbie Lebedo's cooking Staten Island. But Liz is in my other ear from Florida telling me I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't eat this. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Utah, Rockland County, New York, line 4. What's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Same to you and yours.
And a treat that we get an extra hour.
Well, thank you. What's on your mind?
So we're both in the same camp politically, thank God. We're both pro-President Trump, and we're both loathing the fact that Mom Donnie is about to take over New York City. But I will add another point. Vice President J.D. Vance, unfortunately, suffers from something called foot-in-the-mouth disease, with unable to call out racists and bigots within the Republican Party, the anti-Semitism and racists, and unfortunately they both come together. First they come for the Jews, then they come for blacks, and the fact that he has no issue, they can't call out Nick Fuentes and those who host him, I think is problematic, and I think we need to call that out. Well, I think everyone has a fair shot. I think the Republican Party is a more open-minded big tent, and unfortunately, he's representing a fringe fraction. Curious your thoughts on that.
Hey, Yuta, did it ever occur in your world that the Republican talking points that he gets, that perhaps they don't want him to talk about that? You see, we have to put everything about Nick Fuentes. We have to put everything in perspective. He can't just get out there and run his mouth. We don't know what President Trump has said he can and cannot talk about. We don't know what the press secretary has told him what he can and cannot talk about. I know we don't think.
They're touting him as a presidential candidate. I mean, so what's
No. Right now, he's the vice president. And if he goes off script, if he goes off agenda, he won't be the presidential candidate. You do understand that, right? If he goes against whatever orders the president issues, he will not be the vice presidential nominee. So all I'm saying to you is we have to give the man, give him a little bit of rope. I mean, give him a little bit of a break. We don't know what are the talking points coming out of the White House. If the White House says don't talk about it, if you do, that's the end of your career. You do understand that, right? He can't just talk. Go ahead.
No, I get that. Dominic, okay. I get that. But the problem is, it's what he's not saying and what he's defending. And then he's saying things, extra things. You know, that there are no anti-Semites, that it's all about, white men and Israel. He very much like that. The problem.
I've never heard him directly say. I've never heard him directly say that it's all about white men. I haven't heard that.
Okay, so but you do agree if you did say something like that, it would be troubling because I think
what I will say is I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We don't know what limits the White House has on him. And now once you're the nominee, then you're a free man to do whatever you want. But even then you got to be careful because let's say he's the Republican nominee for president and he does something that Trump doesn't like. There goes that endorsement. And then Trump doesn't get out there and campaign for you. He's walking a very, very fine line. He just can't do whatever you want him to do. Let's go to Steve, line 3, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Steve?
Hey, Dom. All right, since we're getting a little off the politics, today is the 53rd anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. What was that? It happened in a divisional playoff game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and
Franco Harris.
You remember, great, super. Franco's Italian Army. Although Franco, his father, World War II vet man of color, met his Italian mother there in Italy and brought her back here after the war and married her. And Franco was a product. So he was biracial. Anyway, but the story of the Immaculate Reception goes like this. The Steelers, this is only the second time they'd ever been in the playoffs. And the Raiders, of course, had lost Super Bowl II.
You got to go quick, Steve. We got 10 seconds left.
40 seconds left. 20 seconds. Bradshaw back. He fired. All right. So the Steelers are down. Right.
We know the play, Steve. We know the play. We've seen it a million and one times on TV. Steve, thank you for the wonderful call. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. Keep it right here, folks. John Catsimatidis, Rita Cosby coming up.
Thanks for listening to The James Golden Show. You can hear The James Golden Show Saturday mornings at 7. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.